Unscripted, unfiltered, unafraid. Welcome to the Macworld Podcast. My name is Michael Simon, and I am joined by my colleague, senior editor, Jason Cross.
Good morning.
Roman, you missed. I started calling Jason senior editor 2 weeks ago.
I don't know why, but it's fine. It's okay.
And our producer back from Iceland, Roman Loyola. I wish we had like a drum roll. We don't have one. But welcome back, Roman. How was your trip?
It was good. As you can see, I brought back a sweater, and I also brought back a head cold.
Okay. But it's an Icelandic head cold. So
those
Yes.
Are those puffins on your sweater?
They are puffins. So, and it also says something that I can wear a sweater like this in the middle of August in San Francisco.
It does, yeah, actually.
I was watching a show with, I think it was Gordon Ramsay, and they eat puffins.
What?
I believe.
How dare they?
Yeah.
It's like, I was shocked, but they're like they catch them and they eat them.
Yeah, they used to do that. They don't do it as much anymore. Like, they kind of, some conservationists said, we need to stop eating the puffins. Yeah.
Someone always ruins everybody's fun about eating exotic animals.
Yeah. So they don't do it as much anymore.
So you didn't eat any puffins when you were in Iceland? What was your most memorable meal? We'll start there.
That's actually, so we went to this one restaurant. I'll make this story kind of short.
Wrap it up, Roman.
It was this hybrid Japanese-Italian restaurant.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this, fusion restaurant. And the meals there they weren't bad, but they were a little off. So
yeah, that's not like a combo best. I would.
Yeah. For instance, we had this sashimi dish, and the fish itself was good. It was just salmon, but they did something to the soy sauce where you guys know soy sauce is just watery. Sure. They made it thick and goopy somehow. I don't know if they added cornstarch, or something. But it was kind of like, why? Why did you do that?
That was your best meal?
No, it was. We had some excellent meals. That was the one but it stood out because it was it wasn't a bad meal and it wasn't the best meal, but it stood out because
memorable.
The whole time we were kind of like, what? So
did you have a whole list of places before you left that we got to go here, or did you just kind of wing it and wherever you were, you just popped in and say, I'll eat here?
We were with a tour group.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So the only time we were really free to do what we wanted was the first day we were there, and then we were with a tour group. Okay. So we went. We ate at the restaurant stay, and they set us up in.
Did you ask for your money back after the Japanese-Italian debacle?
Well, that was a restaurant my wife picked because that was on our own.
What's the conversion rate? Is it our food is everything expensive over there? Or?
Everything there is expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it was a bad meal, and you paid a lot for it.
It was pricey. Everything there was expensive because they have to import in a lot of stuff. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, last question. How was the eclipse?
So the eclipse was a big letdown because
the moon got in the way. Couldn't see anything.
Yeah. Because we were thwarted by cloud cover.
Oh, no.
So the cloud cover was so thick and heavy that we couldn't see it.
That's a shame.
There were a couple times when it did break through and we saw the partial eclipse, but the totality was totally covered by cloud. The only thing we noticed was it went dark for 2 minutes. And in Iceland right now, the sun goes down at 10:30ish, and then comes back up at 3 in the morning. But the whole nighttime is sort of like dusk here. It's not completely dark.
Yeah, because it's
because of where the location of the sun in Iceland is. But during the eclipse, it went completely dark. So it was really kind of trippy. Even though the whole scheme of things is it's just going into nighttime. But it was because of where we were, it was sort of emphasized because of how night is there right now. So
interesting. Well, welcome back, Roman.
Thanks.
It's good to have you, and back in the States and back on our show.
Thank you.
Oh, geez, I haven't even started the show. This is episode number 996. We've been talking to Roman for 5 minutes, and I haven't even gotten to the first part of this thing. Episode 996. Roman, we are a month away, assuming we don't miss a week, from our 1,000th episode, which we actually talked about before the show. We have the makings of a plan, everybody. Who's excited.
Concepts of a plan.
Concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
But on today's show, we're going to talk about kind of like a bunch of upcoming Apple products that leaked over the last few days. The last couple iOS and macOS betas have had like a weirdly just a bunch of references to upcoming rumored, just generally unreleased Apple devices. So we're going to kind of I don't know what we're going to get to, but we're going to try to get to a bunch of them.
For the most part, it's not. They don't all come with juicy info. It's just like this code name model number was found in the code. It doesn't say anything about it. Like it doesn't let you know. There's a few though that do let you know something about the product.
There's some stuff,
but
and
for
there's
the most
also
part, it's just they're just in there.
Yeah, but it's an indication that they're working on them. They're closer to release. Their development is moving along, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll talk about that. What's in it, what's coming, what we care about, what Roman might buy, or what Roman isn't going to buy. Actually, I wrote down what Roman isn't going to buy, and then I read it wrong. So I screwed up my own joke. And, whatever else comes up. And then we'll have This Week in Apple History, which is back to Roman being, you know what, Roman? I'm going to yell at you for a moment. You never sent me the one for last week, so I had to get them on my own, and it was a pain in the ass.
I knew I forgot something.
So, how dare you not work when you're on vacation?
Shucks.
No, he was supposed to send it before he left, and he forgot.
Yeah, I sent the 1 week, but I forgot to send the second week. Yeah. So
I don't remember what it was, but I had to get it on my own. And I have new respect for your producer role because it wasn't easy. Apple history, and then we will close with Comment Corner, which again is curated by Roman. And I don't know if you listened to the show, Roman, but we totally forgot to get it the first week.
I know.
We were
like real time.
We had to do it while the show was going on.
Jason's social media.
Like,
where's our TikTok comments? What's going on?
So yeah, we're very happy to have you back. Speaking of comments, which we may or may no. Now that Roman's back, they will actually be read and delivered. You can contact us through Blue Sky, Facebook, Thread. Search for Macworld. Look for the Blue House logo. Send emails to podcast@macworld.com. Send us a person emails. Comment under a video. Comment under a post. Just get us your thoughts, and we'll talk about them on a future show. Okay. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, Jason.
Yes.
I'm assuming you saw in the macOS 27 beta. Well, all right, so my first question is, there's a macOS 26.7 beta, but there's no iOS 26.7 beta. Is that true? Because I don't think there is one.
Oh, God, it might be true.
I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. I should have told you I was going to go there.
I don't usually look at the whole list of downloads. I just wait for my device to get
I'm just
pinged,
basing it on like the articles you've written, and I don't think there's one for iOS 26.7, and you like that's your thing. Like you write those every time, even if there's nothing in it. As far as I know.
We don't always do them if it's just like there's nothing in them, but it's just security releases, but it's a beta. We just wait for the release if there's nothing in it. But we may have had, but
the main ones, the 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, like you do those. I remember 26.6.1, they got a weird beta release, and then it released the next week, but I don't think there's a 26.7 beta. Anyway, while you look for that, I'll talk about the leak that was found in the
I don't even see the macOS 26.7 beta like on the developer site.
Well, it's a release candidate, so it's coming out next week if that matters.
Still, that's where they put them on the developer site, to download and with the developer release notes and stuff. So I don't even see.
Well, someone got it, And they found in the code, so basically the whole show is based on this macOS 26.7 beta. There's a bunch of references, but the craziest one is there's a video that was spotted by MacRumors contributor and just general code spelunker Aaron Paris. He posted it on X, and there's a video, an Apple produced video of the AirPods with camera being used with visual intelligence. Like an actual video file was found in the code that shows a guy wearing AirPods, and the voiceover says, hold on, I gotta get the thing. And it says, with visual intelligence, your world becomes savable. See something you like? Just ask me to save it for later. So it's like a little instructional video of like how this would work. And I can't remember another time when something that major was left in a iOS or a macOS beta.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it is that the video has no audio. It's like voiceover. It's not the guy saying,
right. It's like an instructional
Siri to save it for later. It's the kind of video that they used to have in macOS for like how to use the trackpad. Like they used to have these little videos and stuff.
Right.
So it looks like that. It's weird that it's in macOS. I can't find maybe if you're in the regular beta and you're on 26.6, you get pinged for it. But like, it's not on the developer site for download. So,
well, it does. It exists somewhere.
It exists. Like people are saying like, oh, it shows up in your, if you're on 26.6 and you're on the beta channel, it will show up as a download on your Mac. But yeah, and I don't see the iOS one either. So
I don't think iOS exists, but the macOS does, and I assume it'll come out next week because the release candidates generally come out a week earlier. But so this video, like I can't imagine it's anything other than an indication that these things are coming out very soon. Now, we still don't learn a ton. The AirPods, like you can see it in the guy's ear, but it's basically indistinguishable from the current model. They
just look like AirPods Pro 3.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. And he's facing 3/4 away, so you can't see like the dot where the camera is or any kind of thing like that. Like it looks. They just look like AirPods.
Yeah. The question I have is like, where is the camera? Like, is it at the bottom that you have to like turn them up to take a photo? And there's all these privacy implications. Yeah. Right.
From what we've heard about this, they will not store any kind of photos. They will not take photos that go in your photo roll or video or anything like that. So I don't know. And Apple's going to have to convince everybody that these are not, you can wear these at the gym, right? Like it's not, all they can do is feed Apple visual intelligence stuff, right? Which it's not going to save a photo. It's going to say, save this thing. And I don't know if
it has to take some kind of a picture or something.
Yeah, it internally processes an image, but it's not saved anywhere. It's not.
So how do you access
on your camera
it later?
roll? You don't access the image. That's what I'm saying. It's visual intelligence.
It's just the information.
It's a reminder for the name of the book you looked at or the album or something like that.
Okay.
It's the same way
just
now.
The data. It's not the image.
Yeah. So like currently, if you use visual intelligence and you point it at a picture of a tree and you say, what kind of tree is this? And it will tell you. Right. Here, you would just say, what kind of tree am I looking at? And it would tell you, but there's no picture of a tree saved anywhere. It's the cameras are seeing the tree, it's processing it, but there's no image in your camera roll or saved to your iPhone or anything like that.
What do you think save it for later means?
That's just the question, because the little video clip they had doesn't really tell us what happens on the other end. Like, how is it saved? Where is it saved? Is it in reminders? Is it in notes? Is there a separate? Is it the Siri app has saved it? Like, did it save a picture of what I'm looking at? Did it just save what the object is? Does it, like, I can't imagine it saved a picture, because then now we're back into the, like, you can't wear your headphones in the gym, right? Like, it's without creeping everybody out. Everybody who sees AirPods at the gym thinks you're creeping on. Like,
exactly. That's what the Meta glasses people are like. They've taken on a whole personification of, like, if you see someone wearing these things, get the hell away from them.
Yeah. And there will come a time when Apple will have things that, like glasses and stuff, and they're going to have to be really clear about when it's recording and taking pictures. It's going to have to have a shutter sound you can't get rid of. It's going to have a very visible red recording light, you know. I mean, we all walk around with phones, but it's obvious when someone's using it to take a picture. And these new things have to be just as obvious.
Like, even when you're, like, there are people who pretend to, like, as soon as you do this, people know that I'm holding my phone up. Yeah. Like, no one knows you're reading it. Like, you read it down further. If you're holding your phone up, you're obviously taking a photo or a video. Yeah. So 2 questions I have, well, several questions, but the biggest one from this little video is, will you be able to use AirPods? Or, you know, obviously you don't know the answer, but what do you think? Like, if I'm looking at something and I say, hey, what's that?
Right.
This video implies that I can't do that, but maybe this is just one of many videos and many things that you can do.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine this is the only thing they do.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Like, that would be crazy.
Right.
I think they do everything visual intelligence does.
Okay.
Everything, like when you press and hold that camera button, or you can do it through Control Center, and you get things like, you can add, if you see a poster with a date and time on it, you can say, add this to my calendar, or you can translate text or any of those other kinds of things. You know, all that stuff, it just, anything it could do just talking in your ear, I think it will do. What time does this store open? You know, just while you're just looking at a storefront, you know, and it will use your location and the store image. I think all that stuff, I think it'll just do everything visual intelligence does.
Do you think this is a replacement for AirPods Pro or a higher end model?
Oh,
or maybe not Pro. Will they be AirPods 4? Like, you can't really tell from the image if they're Pro or 4 because they look very similar from the stems.
That's the weird thing. There's an AirPods 4, but there's not an AirPods 4 Pro yet. There's an AirPods 3 Pro, and there's a regular AirPods 4. So is this AirPods 4 Pro? Is this AirPods 3 Ultra? Is this AirPods 4 Ultra? And then there's going to be a version just like it without the camera that's Pro. Like, we don't really know.
AirPods Pro came out last year, Pro 3, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been out for very long, or at least on the AirPod cycle.
There was some expectation before they announced them that they would have the cameras. The AirPods Pro 3 would have the cameras. And then it ended up being the heart rate sensor instead.
Right.
That's the other thing. Will the ones with the camera also have the heart rate sensor still?
Yeah.
Like, is there enough room in there for all this stuff?
Yeah, right. They're pretty tiny.
It's pretty impressive they get any of this in there anyway.
Other question is, does anybody care? Like, is this something you're looking for with AirPods? I don't know if it is. The heart rate makes sense because it's exercise stuff.
Yeah.
The cameras, I don't know.
They're going to have to sell us on the value of Siri being smart and being able to do smart things with what you're looking at. I feel like this is one of those things that is, people will buy the newest ones because they're new. Mm-hmm. And for the name, my guess is these are going to be what AirPods Pro 4 Pro are. But people will buy, to some degree, just buy the latest AirPods. But if they cost a lot more, maybe not. But I think, you know how AirPods keep getting like cool new features over time. Mm-hmm. I have a good sense that maybe next year's update, like, there'll be a lot more smart. Apple's working really hard on a lot of visual intelligence stuff because they're going to work on glasses and everything. So like maybe next year they do a lot more cooler stuff, right? And there's more of a conversational Siri where it knows what you're looking at too. Yep. And it can take that context into what you're talking about and everything. So I feel like it's one of those things that's going to get kind of limited use right away and then over time get really awesome.
When we first heard these AirPods with cameras rumors, the main thing that it was supposed to do was like gestures and stuff, and you can control like things by moving your hands around, kind of like Vision Pro. But that's not what this is. This is like an actual camera. So they were supposed to be like IR cameras. Back when Gurman first reported this a long time ago, like a year ago, it was for gestures. That was the general idea, was that you'd be able to swipe left and right to answer calls and dismiss stuff. And it kind of does that with the Siri stuff. Like you can shake your head no, things like that. So it kind of has that built in already. But this makes it sound like from that little tiny video that it's an actual camera.
Yeah, the latest rumors have said that the cameras do IR and visual.
And visual, yeah.
Spectrum. But it's kind of low quality, wide angle. Like you wouldn't like the photos it took if you saved them.
Sure.
You wouldn't either, and it's not enough bandwidth for video, like quality video and stuff like that.
But they got to be
really
clear
is
enough
just to feed visual intelligence.
It's got to be clear enough to see stuff. Like if you're looking at something, I don't know, 30 feet away, or maybe not, maybe you got to be a lot closer. Maybe it's got to be like 5 or 6 feet away for them to like actually work. I don't know. I'm not sold on the idea of as something that I or anyone else will rush to buy. But as you say, if they're the new AirPods Pro, it's not going to really matter.
Yep.
As long as they're still $249, or you know, if they go up to $299, then that changes it, because then you're paying $50 for a feature you might not use. But if they're still $249, people will buy them, and maybe or maybe not. They'll use the cameras.
I feel like I don't know how much you've used visual intelligence or currently use it. Every time I use it, I go, "This is pretty cool. I should do this more." Yeah. But it's because I have to dig out my phone, and there's a set of people, I'm not one of them, despite what you see here, who wear AirPods like all day, like they're, and if that's kind of you, just this whole thing where you don't dig out your phone and you're just looking at what kind of bug is that, you know, whatever, just, you don't have to pull out a thing and press a button and wait and stuff. I think that might be the line they have to cross to get people to use this stuff all the time. So it might just be one of those things where, hey, this really makes all the visual intelligence stuff so convenient that people actually will use it. Because I don't think people use it now. I'm with you.
I'm not one of them. Although I don't use AI much either. I kind of have to be trained, like or convinced that this is something that I can use. I go to Google and I research stuff. I actually did it earlier today, and I should have asked Siri, but I didn't. So I'm just going to go off on a weird little tangent for like 2 minutes. The U.S. News and World Reports comes out with annual high school rankings, and my son's starting high school in a couple of weeks. So his school was ranked, I don't know, 300 or something, and I was curious how that compared to earlier years. So I went to Google and I started doing like U.S. News reports and college rankings for 2024, and I got all the results, and I was like, all right, let me just try asking Gemini, because I was in Google. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, it came up in like 2 seconds. Yeah. All of the years, I asked for the last 10 years, and it was all there. He was ranked here, here, here. I just have to be trained to use it. And I think that in the sense that Apple realizes that there's an aversion to AI, there's an aversion to all this stuff. So coming out with it in these kind of like little dribs and drabs, as part of AirPods 4, a feature that you might not use, maybe you want to try it. But yeah, getting people to understand that visual intelligence is actually something that is useful and private and isn't going to send their data to some cloud somewhere that they don't know where it's going. It stays in your phone. It could really help you understand whatever it is in front of you and get information a lot quicker. This could be a step in that
And I think
direction.
a lot of it, what it processes, does go to the cloud, and they've been trying to work to
it's private,
tell people to tell people like we can't see it or associate it with you, and it doesn't stay. We don't save it, and we don't use it for training. And they have to be clear about that like every time. I feel like the blowback against AI is mostly focused on the generative stuff. The images, the videos, and the text that's generative. Whereas the analysis stuff, like what kind of spider is this and stuff, like I think people are really happy with that. I don't think people are like as up in arms about, or like your thing, like I'm doing research, give me, grab some data from different places, give me the lowdown and link to it so I can check your work, because sometimes, I think that's the kind of stuff that people, one, it's good at, and two, I think there's a lot less blowback against that. So as long as Apple leans into those sides of things, unless the creation of images, like they haven't talked hardly at all about the new Image Playground. Like Image Playground's massively changed and updated. They just kind of quickly glossed past that when they announced it.
Yeah. Yet when you think of AI, that's what you relate it to. Like
that's the big popular stuff. All the fake images and the fake videos and the articles and stuff written by AI and all those things.
So I assume we expect these things in the iPhone event, right? Like that's what I'm thinking.
I think most AirPods have been announced during the main iPhone September event.
Right.
That's usually when it happens.
In the past.
In the past. So I think that's going to happen. It's so close. This year they're doing weird stuff. They're like moving some iPhones to spring and stuff. So it's possible it's a spring thing, and it's just they're testing, and that's why things are left in this beta.
Right. The emergence of the video doesn't necessarily mean that it's a couple weeks away, but it does imply that the product is done and they're just kind of wrapping up testing or wrapping up production.
Yeah, they're at that part where
stage.
They have they're doing internal testing on what are functionally complete products, to work on the software end and the reliability and all this other.
Yeah. So iPhone event is probably like what? 4 weeks?
Last 3.
I'd say 3 weeks.
3 weeks away.
3 weeks away. So, as part of this whole leak, our contributor Felipe Esposito last week found references to 6 different iPhone models. This was in the iOS 27 beta, so not quite the same beta, but so he found. I'm just going to read them off. These are they call them code names, but they're really numbers. Right. So V62, V63, 64, 67, 68, and 69. I don't know where 65 and 66 are. They're not part of this. But V62 is the iPhone Air 2. V63 is the iPhone 18 Pro. V64 is the 18 Pro Max. 67 is the 18. 68 is the Ultra. 69 is the 18E. Now, those aren't all coming in September. If you've been following this stuff, Apple is splitting up the iPhone event essentially. So this fall's event, and I assume going forward, this is how they're going to do it, is going to be the Pro model. So the 18 Pro and the 18 Pro Max, along with the new folding phone, which we assume will be called the iPhone Ultra, which that's what we've been going on.
Right.
And in the spring next year is when you'll get the iPhone 18, the iPhone 18e, and probably the Air 2. That's what we've been told.
That's what we've been told. And the existence of all these code names and numbers makes everybody think that like, oh, yep. All the rumors are true. Kind of no surprises. It's the entire kind of 18 line, even though the Air doesn't carry the number, like is what has been reported.
Yeah.
And so that's good to see. I mean, there's always chance that they kill something last minute, but from what we hear, unfortunately, these numbers existing there didn't correspond with specific flags or call outs or something that give us any real information about them. Like we can't necessarily associate, let's say, Air 2 with the ultra wide camera. There was no Air 2 _ ultra wide _ whatever, like in the code that lets us kind of know any features or details about them. Just that they are in fact on the way.
Yeah, I think there's still going to be a lot of people who are looking, the iPhone event happens. They don't know about it until the day of. Oh, the iPhone's here, and they go into the store to buy an iPhone 18 and it doesn't exist. I think that is going to confuse a lot of people because for the last 20 years, that's what's happened. Or 19 years or whatever it is.
I don't know when they split, when they started doing like pros and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is that the iPhone comes out and the iPhone is out. Like Apple hasn't done this with the exception of the SE and the 18E. And those are different. Sure. But you generally go into a store and you buy the model you want and they're all out at the same time and that's it.
Yeah,
and now it's going to be
the
18 Pro and then the 17 alongside it.
Yeah, and I don't think people are really dialed into the event. Like, I think anyone who
probably
knows of the existence of the event also understands the split and all that stuff. But they do they do see commercials, and they're going to see a commercial for the iPhone 18 Pro or the iPhone Ultra. The iPhone Ultra, it's folding. The people who go for that will go for that. But the iPhone 18 Pro, they'll see a commercial and they'll go like, oh, the new iPhone's out. And they'll go to their Verizon store and they'll say, I want the new iPhone. And the Verizon person will say, well, it's only the Pro models and they're hecka expensive now. they start at $1,200 or something, right? There's going to be a price bump and everything. And people are going to get upset about that. I think people are going to start saying like, how come everyone's sold out of the iPhone 18? It's like, no, they're not sold out. It's not even out.
It doesn't exist. Yeah. I wonder if the prices, you bring up the prices, we'll talk about that. So this isn't the iPhone preview show, but inevitably we got to talk about this stuff because it's part of the leak. We're going to have our iPhone preview will be in 2 weeks. Next week we're going to talk about Tim Cook because he's leaving. And then 2 weeks later we'll have, but the prices are going to be interesting because like, will the iPhone 17 cost more? Will the iPhone 18 Pro, you just said $1,299, like it could jump $150 to $200.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions.
I'd be shocked if there was no price movement on the iPhone. Just the supply stuff being what it is today, the RAM, all that other kind of stuff. Like they're doing everything they can. They've been doing everything they can. They raised the prices on everything but iPhone. And I think they're just waiting for the new models. That way they can say, look at all the cool, amazing stuff it does and charge more. Maybe $50 or $100.
We've heard as much as 200. I tend to agree with you. 200 seems nuts.
That seems
for
nuts.
an iPhone. But it's all about RAM and costs and
RAM and flash storage is crazy right now.
So iPhone event in September. Those 3 models. Maybe the AirPods Pro with cameras.
Yep.
Maybe this other home pad thing. So we don't know what it's called yet, but the model number that was leaked was J490, along with a couple of accessories, 17.1 and 17.2, which could be, I don't know, different colors. It could be this doorbell thing that we've heard about. It could be
a
dock for the thing.
MagSafe cases get accessory listings because they sync the color, when you snap on that. They could be things like the batteries, the MagSafe batteries and stuff. Like it could be anything that needs to be identified by the operating system, even if it's just to have the proper color show up on your screen, gets a listing like that. So
yeah, but we're expecting, I don't know if it's going to happen at the iPhone event. It seems like it might be not quite fit for that event, but this new 8-inch thing that you hang on a wall or pop into a speaker and that can control all of your smart home stuff.
Yeah, it's a 7-inch square thing with a new operating system. Right. And there's supposed to be 2 versions, one with a speaker base. I don't know if it's detachable, but with like a speaker base, and then one that's like meant to mount into a little bracket on your wall and come off. Yeah. That if they're not announcing it now, like it feels like the kind of thing you don't just throw up on the website. You need to show people why this is great, especially if it's going to have a new interface and all that stuff. And if not now, are they going to have like an October event? So So maybe that's without the regular iPhone section. Maybe they've got time for all this. They've got a lot to do. They're going to have to really, like, the folding phone is a big deal. They're going to have to spend some time, right?
I agree. And if those AirPods come out, that's also a fairly big deal.
Yeah. Not so we could talk for about the event, and we're going to do that in 2 weeks. I don't want to spend the whole time doing it.
Yeah, right. Plus there's Apple Watches. But so in as part of the leak, this Home Hub, which let's presume Apple's going to have a separate event for it in October.
Okay.
For all this stuff. So J490 and J491, again, they call them code names, but they're numbers. Mm-hmm. That lines up with the rumors. There's going to be one that goes on a wall, one that goes in a dock. Maybe they're different model numbers,
Yeah, they would be probably.
So that makes perfect sense. Maybe an accessory to go with it. So aside from the dock, maybe like there's been talk of security cameras and stuff like that. And Apple has this whole architecture built into the Home app that 4 cameras already. So, it would make sense to just kind of come out with that. Along with the HomePod Mini and the Apple TV 4K, that's also in here. The HomePod Mini is B520. The Apple TV is, I can't find it, but there's a number for that too. So it seems to me that after the iPhone event, there will be a secondary something event.
It would make sense to me if they have such, if this folding iPhone, if they're doing the folding iPhone and the Pro and the AirPods and Apple Watch, it makes sense to me that they go like, let's have a separate home stuff event.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's not a lot that's ready to go. The HomePod Mini and the Apple TV 4K aren't going to do a lot. Like they're going to support.
They'll get Siri and stuff, but
they'll support the new architecture and support the new Siri, but they're not going to do anything all that special. But this new HomePad, there's not really been any rumor evidence that Apple's anywhere close to releasing their security camera thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
True.
Like that's supposedly coming, but it's not like imminent. So then what else is there? Except that they do have some ecosystem stuff. They have some stuff where, they work with partners who support HomeKit secure video and stuff like that. So maybe there's those parts involved, but it just seems too much for one event. On the other hand, it's the new CEO, man. He wants to come out big. Maybe he wants to like an hour and a half of like major, big time new stuff. These are all, the other thing is this is a lot of new stuff, man.
It's a lot.
Like not just like chip and ship updates or just these AirPods are like the old AirPods, except they sound better. Like real functional new stuff.
There's also Macs, like the touchscreen MacBook Pro and
that's true.
There's redesigned MacBook Pros coming next year. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in development. And, there's also, as Roman reported or Roman wrote down, there's a ton of like unknown devices. Like we don't even know what the heck they refer to. There's like a dozen and a half of them with just numbers of things that they're working on, and we have no clue what they even relate to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot coming this year. I think there's going. So once, I believe a couple, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was 3 fall events. There was the iPhone, I think Apple Watch and iPad Mini. This is during COVID. They separated the Apple Watch, and then the iPhone came later, and then there was a Mac event in like late November. And I would not be surprised to see that happen again this year. There's just a lot that they haven't, that there's a lot ready to release that we've been hearing about for a while and they haven't released yet. Roman, am I right about that? 2020, 2021, were there 3 events? I'm almost certain.
I've got it here. So there was in September, there was one called Time Flies was the thing.
Yes. It was the iPad Mini and the Apple Watch.
Yeah. It was it was an iPad Air, a regular iPad.
Okay.
And the Apple Watch. And that's it, which was like super weird. And then in October, they had all the iPhone stuff.
Right.
It's weird that they separated that out from the iPhone stuff. And
It
I
was
remember
like
that
production
event
stuff. And
I remember that event being like the watch one, us going like, that's it? That's all, like some chip and ship iPads and then like a Apple Watch that's not even that
I think
different. Like, why do they have an event for this?
I think that was the Air redesign. It got
probably.
the iPad Pro redesign. So there was a little bit more there. But
and then in November, they had the One More Thing event. And that was all about the M1 and the new MacBook Air.
Right. The M1, of course. M1. That was that year. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had
it's not unprecedented.
They had announced Apple Silicon at WWDC. It had no name, and the test thing was just an A series chip in a Mac Mini for developers. The actual product being an M1 in a MacBook Air that looked just like the old MacBook Air, but that and the MacBook Pro were all released at a November event that year.
So I think that
you think we're going to 3 again this year?
I do. Yeah. Okay. So Apple hasn't really had an event this year. They did the Neo thing, but that wasn't a keynote. And you know, WWDC was just software. They didn't do any hardware there. So they haven't really released anything in a keynote style, or at least any new products in a keynote style yet.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to plant my flag and say there will be 3 fall events this year.
I'll take that bet, and I'll say there's going to be there might be 2. There may even just be 1, and like a direct to web shipment of like a MacBook Pro. And some of the stuff that we were expecting late this year are going to get bumped back because of supply things. I think we're going to see some like touchscreen MacBook Pro. I wouldn't be at all shocked if that came in March or next WWDC, if that got pushed back more. I think that's going to happen. I don't think so I'll take your bet. I'll take your less than 3 events.
I don't know what I'm giving you, but
I don't know.
Remember, Roman, write this down. I owe Jason something if he's right. Well, he owes me something if he's wrong.
That's true.
All right, last question before we wrap this segment up. So the AirPods, to go back to the AirPods camera leak, do you think there's any way that Apple purposefully left that video in there to kind of test the waters of how people will react to AirPods with cameras before they're announced? Is that possible, or am I nuts?
I mean, it is definitely possible. We have seen in the past all kinds of large corporations purposely leak something either to a friendly press person or put something in a thing that they end up not releasing or changing.
Right.
And you could argue that, no, they just like, they took people's initial reaction feedback and just changed it. But you could also say that they leaked it on purpose and nobody knows. But it's hard not to believe that a $4 trillion company isn't being deliberate about some of these things.
Particularly a $4 trillion company that people scour the ends of the earth to find any information about.
On the other hand, this is a weird release. It has a lot of product numbers in it that are still called product numbers that really aren't of any use for Apple to leak because they don't say anything about anything. And in fact, they don't even say what these product numbers are. It's just that we know that from by putting it together with other sources and stuff. And so it's possible with all that other stuff kind of left in there that somebody slipped up at Apple and just kind of left something in there. Yep. So there's that too. It's also kind of a weird, like this beta is not on the developer side or anything. Like I don't know where you're supposed to. It shows up if you're in the beta. Like, was this beta release not even supposed to go out? Like, I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure where they got it from. I was surprised to see.
Well, people say that if you're on macOS 26 and just signed up for betas of macOS 26, it comes in your Mac's system update.
Oh, so you're saying that the release candidate came out.
That's what people say.
with no betas before it. Oh, that makes more sense to me. Now I understand.
Right. There's no beta. There was no prior beta. I mean, the release candidate is the last beta, but there was no prior beta of 26.7 released anywhere. And you can't go download the release candidate. Like I said, is the last beta. Normally they're on the developer site to download. It's not there. I didn't see it in the downloads. So it got pushed out to all the devices in software update.
So that could have been just a blunder by somebody.
Did they accidentally send it out to software update?
Right.
And especially if this is a release that's all just security fixes, then sometimes there's not even a beta for those.
Right.
Especially this late, like when we're already about to get macOS 27. I didn't get the update on mine because I'm on the 27 branch, so I didn't get 26.7. I don't get 26.
Let me see. So. I'm not, but I also don't get up beta things.
Yeah, you're not on the betas for that.
So if I just turn it on, will it just pop up?
If you turn on betas, you should probably see the thing to download it after a minute.
I'm going to try. Hold on. So I just turned on macOS Tahoe 26 developer beta. Let's see if anything comes up.
Okay.
Checking for updates. This is exciting because I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm on 26.5.2 if that helps because I haven't updated in a little while. I guess.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it does right there. 26.7. There it is.
Right. So that came out. But if you go to developer.apple.com/downloads, it's not where they have all the things. It's not. I don't.
Okay. Interesting.
macOS beta.
All right. So
27,
I think that
27.
It's probably a mess up, but they probably like, you know what? Let's see what people think. It's
hard to pull it back after everybody's updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. Well, there's a bunch of stuff coming out. We have an article on the site about all the things that were found in 26.7, of which there's even more than we talked about. Bunch of stuff coming out this fall, bunch of stuff coming out over the course of the next 12 months. John Turners is going to have his hands full. There's a lot going on.
I can't wait for the event in 3 weeks because not only is there some actual new stuff that's not just like the same thing but faster, but also I'm excited to see if John Turners changes the format of this. I
agree.
Or if he's just like doing exactly what Tim Apple does, doing exactly what Tim Cook does, but without the prayer hands, right? Like, is he?
We'll talk about this next week, but Tim Cook changed things pretty much. Like, he didn't just follow the Steve Jobs formula. Like, he did things his own way. So, next week we're going to talk about Tim Cook and a little bit of Turners.
He didn't start off that way.
He did not. You're right.
Started off doing things exactly the Steve Jobs way. He got on stage at the same time Steve Jobs was, and then introduced the same people the same way and all that stuff. So, I'll be interested to see if they change things up at all.
Yeah, I agree. And, maybe it'll be in person. Like, we still don't know. It's not going to be yet. And we assume it's not going to be. But anyway, next week. Next week, Tim Cook.
Should go
2
out
weeks.
Like in a week or so.
Yeah. Well, maybe 2 weeks. But soon. All right, Roman, you're up. Okay. This week in Apple history.
This week in Apple history, on August 20th, 2019, so about 7 years ago, the Apple Card was released. People could apply for the Apple Card through the iOS Wallet app, and Apple Card was released with Goldman Sachs as the bank behind it.
Yep.
As you guys know, or if you don't know, Goldman Sachs will no longer be the bank behind it. It's switching over to Chase. Although I don't think there's an official date announced about that.
I don't think so. I don't even know if Apple's announced it officially.
Yeah, it was announced earlier this year. Well, it was written about earlier this year. I don't know if there was ever a formal. Oh no, Apple officially announced it.
There was an official on the news thing, right? And they'll send a notice out to all the card holders at some point.
Yeah.
But Apple Card came out. I use Apple Card all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's on my phone And
well,
I
yeah,
use,
sure. Yeah.
You know, I use my phone to pay
have
for stuff all the time. So it's so easy to use.
I still have the card. I never used it because I don't need
Same
to
here.
have cards. I still have
Same here.
I keep it
I've never used
with me just for those things where somebody their tap and pay doesn't work or isn't around or whatever. But yeah, so my Apple Card is my sort of, like most people, you have sort of your go-to credit card. You're just general. This is my everyday. And then you may have something specialty like an airline card to buy plane tickets with or something.
Yeah.
And it's just my go-to. And I remember it being quite contentious when it came out because number one, we don't need big tech companies to get in the credit card business all of a sudden. Even if Goldman Sachs was really the thing, it's like Apple's terms and they're controlling a lot of the experience for people and all. But also just because like everybody's like, you can add any credit card to your Apple Wallet and it's your tap and pay. Like it doesn't have to be this. It's not special in the sense that the rate and the cashback are pretty similar to a lot of other decent cashback cards like MasterCard. Just get a cashback MasterCard. They're all like kind of 2% and then a little bit more on special things, you know. So, but I think the interface is great. Like I like the information I get in the wallet app for paying, for seeing all my previous things, for disputing a charge or whatever, you know. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So the reason why Goldman Sachs is not doing it anymore because they took a bath on this thing apparently because of the way Apple manages it, I believe. They make it very easy to see what's due, when it's due, how much you should pay to avoid charges. There's no late fees. There's no whatever fees. Yes, they do charge a normal interest rate of like 20-something%, which is terrible, but that's just how credit cards are. But they go through way more than your normal Chase.com thing to show you, hey, this is what you owe. This is what you're going to owe if you don't pay this amount. And these are the interest fees and everything. Like they do such a good job of getting people to understand that you owe us money. And if you don't pay us all the money that you owe us, we're going to charge you.
Yeah. All the apps for all the other credit cards have gotten much better, but they don't have a nice clear circle that says, if you pay this much, you're not going to get revolving debt. This is how much you owe, and you have to pay this much to avoid paying interest. And it defaults to
the full amount. Right.
Yeah. It defaults to the amount that you need to pay to avoid paying interest. And I always like crank it up to pay everything, but like, that is not helping out the credit issuer at all.
That's why they're not, they're losing money. And
especially without fees or anything else, you know.
The daily cash is great because you get it immediately. It shows you your pending transactions as part of your transaction. So it's not like a separate page where like, oh, I had this $100 thing that I didn't know I did. And then it comes in. Like as soon as you buy something, your balance goes up to show you what you bought. The savings account, like your daily cash can go right into that and you can spend it. It's just, it's fantastic. Apple doesn't get enough credit for how good Apple Card is.
That is kind of one of the things that it's a little bit of a sticking point. First of all, they didn't have a savings account initially. So
That's
all
true.
your daily cash back went onto the Apple Cash Card, which is technically on the back end, a Discover Cash Card, right? It's like it's sort of like a debit card. Yeah, Discover's their
I didn't know that
thing for that.
Okay.
But it's like a Discover Cash Card. So like it's taken everywhere, just like a debit card. It's whatever. Yeah. But if you ever want to, like, that's not how people send money to each other. So if you ever want to send money, they make it really easy to send money to somebody, but it's like everyone uses Venmo or PayPal. Nobody uses this Apple Cash thing. And you have to jump through a couple of hoops to like send it to your bank account. Which you can do without any fee, but you got to dial in there and do all this. They more recently, and this is kind of just in the United States, as far as I know, maybe also Canada, but they have the savings account thing. And instead, you can have your money go into that savings account. And that has a nice high interest rate for a savings account. It's one of those high yield interest.
Yeah, 4.5 or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, which for savings accounts, these days. That's what a year-long CD is 4.5. Sure, like, it's great.
Sure. Yeah.
So to have your cashback daily go into there and get that interest, that's pretty great.
Apple Card, I'm just looking up. Yeah, it's still U.S. only. The card itself and the same thing, everything else.
True.
Like it's only U.S.
Is it U.S. only or North America only?
Just U.S. U.S. and qualifying territories. It says, but yeah, that stinks if you don't live here because it's really good.
Yeah,
and I don't know anything about financial stuff or how it's got to be difficult to bring these things internationally. I'm not even sure, but. Tim Cook doesn't get so Apple Pay is also a Tim Cook thing. We'll talk about this next week, and they obviously work really well together. And Apple doesn't get enough credit for how it's kind of pioneered that contactless system and paying with your phone and all that stuff.
I need to do a little more research about that because that was also happening. On the Android side, there were contactless payments that were just the card. You just tap your card to things.
The chip inside it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little thing inside it, and it works the same way. It's basically a little NFC receiver chip, right? And this was all happening in Android at the same time, but there were separate payment things. There was Google Pay, which had its own name, Android Wallet or something. I don't know. They've gone through 4 different names with that. And there was a Samsung one, and there were a third-party app ones on the Android side. And so Apple, as typical, got some flack for Apple Pay not being standardized in any way.
Right.
It was Apple's own thing. And every retailer could have Tap and Pay, but not Apple Pay. And, or vice versa. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. Nowadays, any Tap and Pay, it's Apple Pay, it's Tap and Pay, it's all together.
Was it because of the it used NFC? Is that why?
Yeah,
like
they
not all contact. Like I think back when it came out, like they were still transferring over that stuff, so they didn't all.
It has to do with some other stuff too, some security stuff and everything. Like Apple had a particular set of requirements on the back end and stuff that not every contactless payment thing did.
Right. Right.
So Apple Pay was and still is different than the Tap and Pay you would get on Android or just tapping your card. But it's close enough, and everybody's all the point of sale systems do all of them now.
Yeah, now it's really hard to find a store that doesn't accept Apple Pay. But like back in the day, it was they accept Apple Pay. I remember Target was a holdout for a while. Walmart was a holdout for a while. Home Depot didn't
and some of these places had Tap and Pay
their own
for
stuff,
other platforms, but not Apple's in particular, which is really frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lowe's. I think Lowe's was one of those ones like forever. You couldn't do that.
Yeah. Lowe's or Home Depot, maybe both. Yeah. But it's just fantastic. Even like buying an iPhone and, you click your finance thing and it splits it up and it's just, everything is that whole new, what is it? The upgrade program. Like, I think more and more people are going to be turning to that program, which it's not tied to Apple Card specifically,
it's not tied to Apple
it'll be
Card
that much
even
easier
Apple Pay.
if
you can do it on. Yeah, the Apple Pay does have a whole online shopping component that's somewhat less successful. Like Apple supports it everywhere. Some other places do. Some other apps do. Like, if you order Taco Bell on your Taco Bell app, you can pay with Apple Pay, but a lot of them don't. You can just use your Apple credit card if you have an Apple credit card. But
right. Yeah. It's 1%, I think, if you just type in the number, and 2% if you use the Apple Pay button or whatever. Something like that. Oh, that's the other thing. Like you don't have the numbers changing, the CCV changes, like it's, all that security stuff. That was all relatively novel when Apple Card came out.
I do like how the physical Apple Card, it doesn't have the number on it.
Right.
Which means when your number gets changed for any security reason or something like that, they don't need to send you a new card. Right. And I just love the feel of it. Like it's nice. I would get comments on it when it was new.
Sure.
When this had really just come out, there were plenty of places we would go. Like we went to one of those movie theaters that like you get dinner at your seat kind of movie theaters and stuff. And they didn't take any kind of Tap and Pay. They didn't have Apple Pay. So, but like you hand somebody that card and it's metal, which not a lot of cards are, but then it's really light for its metal because it's titanium, and everybody's like, oh, what's this? And it's white. It's like cool looking. Like people would ask all the time. Then they would say, do you work for Apple? Because if it's a little Apple logo, oh, do you work for Apple? Like, no, anyone can get one of these. This is just a MasterCard.
Roman, you have an Apple Card. You haven't contributed to the conversation.
Oh, yeah. No, I have an Apple Card. I use it all the time. And, you know, you guys basically talked about the reasons why I agree. It's an excellent card. And I used to not be a credit card person. I used to pay everything in cash because my younger days, I got into a little bit of trouble with credit cards. And so so I had a habit of paying everything in cash.
Too many puffin sweaters, I assume.
Too many hey, puffin sweaters are expensive. I'll just say that. So, now I use it all the time, and it's great.
When you use it internationally, like, how does that work with the conversion? Does it like show you immediately what it's going to cost you in US dollars?
So
on the little app thing.
When I used it in Iceland, what happened was, on the terminals, you get a screen that shows up that shows you if you want to pay in Icelandic krona or US dollars. And I was told to always pick Icelandic krona because the conversion rate on their end is better than the conversion rate you're seeing there. So that's so. Yeah,
your credit card company's conversion rate is as good or better than the cash transfer or the point of sale system thing is going to be. So that's it's been that way for a while. When I went to Japan, they were just like, just get it's Japan, so everything's in cash. But like when you do buy something, just use your U.S. credit card for U.S. dollars and don't do anything.
Yeah, there was no issue. And I used my phone. It was, and I used Apple Pay. They had Apple Pay there. So, speaking of traveling, kind of, I guess, there's a current promotion right now with Apple Card where if you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay at Booking.com, Hertz, ChargePoint.
This isn't a paid ad, everybody.
No, it's not a paid ad. Exxon and Mobil, you'll get 5% daily cash.
Can you use your Apple Card in Iceland? Like the card itself, or is it just Apple Pay? Like, because it's US only, can you use it overseas?
I'm pretty sure you can because it's a MasterCard.
Yeah, anywhere you could use a MasterCard.
But you didn't use it.
A lot
you
of
didn't use it
overseas
overseas.
things.
I didn't use the card. I used I used what was on my phone. So I don't actually carry the card with me. The card like yours.
No. I mean, but did you pay for anything with Apple Card using your phone in Iceland?
Almost everything I paid for.
Right.
I paid for using Apple Card, Apple Pay. Apple Card with Apple Pay. That's what I used.
Does it show the immediate conversion in the app? Like, does it show like what it's going to cost you in dollars, or does it show the Iceland money?
It shows the immediate conversion to US dollars.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Cool. All right. We've been talking about Apple Card longer than I thought we would, but Apple Card is great. I tell everyone, like my parents have one. Like it's easy and it's one of the most consumer-friendly cards you're going to find.
Yeah. They've added a fair amount of stuff to it, like having kid accounts and being able to share one credit card with a spouse and stuff. A lot of that stuff was missing at first. There was a lot of stuff that the credit card hounds out there, who the nerds about this stuff, were like, Apple Cards, you can get a regular MasterCard, cashback MasterCard that has more features and the same rates and stuff like that. But they've caught up pretty well.
Yep.
So let's move on to Comic Corner.
Yep.
Do you want to do that? So this Comic Corner, so I need to preface it by saying that before I went on vacation, Mike was encouraging our listeners to send emails about me.
While you were on vacation as well.
Yeah. And we didn't, the funny thing is, I didn't get any, or I didn't see any
either. I already spoke the audience last week for that. Don't worry.
So, but we actually got a couple of messages after I came back from vacation, but I didn't go back to work. So I came back like on the Thursday of last week, and So there were a couple of messages that came in. So Comic Corner is all about me.
Nice.
Okay.
So we were supposed to do this behind your back, but I'm okay with
Right. Yeah.
So this first email was sent by Donnie A, and he wrote, I've been a Mac user and Apple enthusiast since 1995, and I've always enjoyed Roman's reviews and his comments on the podcast, as well as his easygoing personality and sense of humor. After all this time, he seems like an old friend. Thanks, Roman.
I assume this is someone you met in Iceland and you told him to write the show.
Sure, yes. Also, thanks to Michael and Jason and all you guys on the Macworld Podcast. I enjoy what you do.
Well, thank you, Donnie A. Appreciate the comments.
And then Cameron, he commented on actually last week's show that had Adam and you guys talking about folding phones.
That's Adam Patrick Murray.
Yes.
Yeah. You need all the names.
Yes. He has all of it. He commented, I'll say it before I'll say it again. Roman has been a long staple of my Mac world. That's 2 words.
Yeah.
I used to go to Essa Mega Mall in Pasig. That's a popular mall in the Philippines that I've actually been to.
Okay.
And there's a whole thing about mall culture in the Philippines. But anyways.
We don't have that here.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
He would buy Mac Addict magazines and read Roman's articles. And before that, I grabbed every issue of Mac User I could get my hands on and read all the reviews of Mac hardware put together by the editorial team. Thank you, Roman, and I hope you enjoyed the solar eclipse.
Wow, that is a deep cut because that's somebody,
awesome.
first of all, in the Philippines going back and finding stuff from 2 publications ago.
2 U.S. publications.
30 years ago, no less.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thank you guys for the kind comments. I really appreciate it. It's good to be back.
If anyone has any negative comments about Roman, you can send those to me.
I will read them.
This segment did not go the way I hoped it would go. All right, thank you, Roman. It's really good to have you back. And
Thanks.
we're over time, and I'm going to skip my
We're always over
outro
time.
Yeah,
because
we're always over time.
Not always. We were doing really well for a while, and then we lost.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is actually our time.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not going over anymore.
Just about an hour is doing pretty good lately.
Until we're told again, like we were before, and it never happened, that we need to make the podcast X amount of minutes. And then,
that was never going to happen.
And then no one ever follows up with us. Well, that does it for this episode number. Oh, Jason, I still have 994.
That is not my fault. Now. Why are you telling me? I did not do that.
Because we were talking about it last week. I have it from the first. Anyway, this is 996. Thanks for listening. Next week, we're going to talk about is our Tim Cook retrospective. I won't call it a memorial because he's not dead, but it's going to be our Tim Cook retrospective episode because I can't think of another time that, obviously Steve Jobs left, but that was different because he was dying. But it's rare that we get this opportunity to talk about an outgoing CEO that is going to still be part of the company, and it's good stuff.
He's not really going to be part of the company. He's going to be on the board.
I bet he will be. I bet we'll hear about him more than you think. Yes, I agree.
He will not be anywhere. He will be. Like name 3 other board members of Apple.
Next week. I'm not doing
He's going to be like that.
I'm not getting caught up in this 10-minute conversation.
Okay. Yes.
Roman, write that down for next week. Jason's question was name a couple board members because I'm going to...
Without looking him up. He's going to be as visible as those guys. But it is unusual to have a CEO going out both alive and not in a scandal or something. Usually it's because the company... They trash the company or there's a social scandal or something like that. Yeah. To just have him just going like, I've done my time. See ya.
Right. All that and more on next week's show. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a fine place to end.
I can end it there. Big dramatic ending, and it didn't. Yeah.
I'll end it there. Yeah.
We will see you next week. Bye, everybody.